Hello and welcome back to the Chicago Auto Show. We are here with the new 2023 Kia Sportage. Not only is it a full redesign, there's also a hybrid right over there and a plug-in hybrid. I wanted to focus on the plug-in hybrid, tell you a little bit about the battery specs we do know about today, and then of course just go through a quick overview before we get this car to Colorado for our full testing, for our range tests and everything like that. Underneath, the one thing you can keep in mind is very similar to the Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid, here just in Kia guise. So I want to talk about the interior, some of the changes after the model year, because they've really gone, I think, all out. And first of all, look, matte paint has now made its way to the consumer market in a regular mid-size little compact SUV thing. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Let's go on a tour. So I'd like to preface this video with, we don't actually know how much this thing costs yet. We've seen some rumors of it starting around $36,000 or so, but we're not totally sure. Anyway, let's walk through some of the components on the car. You get a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, which I imagine is the same engine that's in this super cool Soul EV with the split tailpipes over there. Love that. So you get 177 horsepower there. Then you have a 66.9 kilowatt peak, I imagine, electric motor sandwiched between the combustion engine and the transmission is my guess. No one can really tell me all the specific little details of how the drivetrain's worked out, but I promise you when we get one to test, we're gonna go in depth with it. But come back with me over here because this is where we get to the charging port. We have just over a 13 kilowatt hour battery pack. Again, they didn't tell us usable or gross capacity, but you do get just a J1772 level 2 charger. For what Kia's been doing, look at this, Jordan, here. You get these knobs, these things. This is not a beautiful looking charge port in here, I have to say, but it does have a over 7 kilowatt onboard charger, which is wonderful. So really good sized plug-in system. You see, we've tested a lot of plug-in hybrids on this channel. We've just recently had the Escape plug-in hybrid, and that is a compromised vehicle. While that vehicle does have a little bit more electric range, we tested it at 39 in the city, but I think it's rated at 37 miles. This is rated at 33 miles. This is all-wheel drive, as standard. That's front-wheel drive. I'd give up a couple miles for all-wheel drive, which is pretty great. I will say that electric motor made more power, though. That thing consistently outputted 120 kilowatts. This is going to be around 66 peak, they say, so it's about half the electric power of the Ford Escape. So you gain all-wheel drive, you lose acceleration. I wonder if that's going to be enough to move this thing around town on electric only. I'm trying to think, my electric smart car has a 60 kilowatt motor, and it's something this big, it might be pretty slow in electric mode, so I'd prepare yourself for that. But I will say, if you're cruising around town at low speed and stop and go traffic, you can plug in the car, charge it within 2 hours would be my guess, somewhere around there. Again, 7 kilowatt charger to charge up a 13 kilowatt hour battery pack, but of course there's always a curve. That'll be kind of interesting. So that's kind of what we know about the drivetrain systems. I've driven other hybrids and plug-in hybrids from Hyundai and Kia. Some things that I've experienced over time is sometimes it'll turn on the combustion engine when you don't want it to, and it'll still show it's an EV. We're gonna see how well tuned this thing is. But I will say, I'm not super, I would say, hot on their hybrid tuning or plug-in hybrid tuning from the ability to spend as much time driving in electric mode as other competitors are. Like Volvo, for example, I lock that thing in pure mode, it stays in electric mode. BMW, same way. I'd be curious to see how this is. So that's enough questions. Let me tell you what we do know. We do have a totally redesigned body, and I think it's really, honestly striking, no question. This headlight design, it's a lot going on up here in the front end, but I think it looks great paired with the new Kia logo and sort of this brushed aluminum look. It looks really nice, really lovely details. I also love this paint color. They do have a guide to caring for matte paint, and it is more difficult than your standard gloss paint. So I would be a little bit cautious speccing this paint color if you're not prepared to not run it through car washes. Like if you have no ability to wash your car at home, don't spec a matte paint. Go for something glossy like that over there. But you just get a couple of products, you wipe it down, and it's really not that bad. Just don't use anything waxy, because once you damage the surface, this is the hard part, it can never come back to gloss again. I feel like I'm being a little bit too negative with the Sportage plug-in hybrid. What do you think, Jordan? You like it. I like it too. Why am I being so negative? I don't know. Maybe it's the Chicago weather. I think it's the right size of car, right? It looks better, in my opinion, than the Tucson. It's a little bit less weird and and odd like that. Over here you have your fueling cap, which is currently closed, probably because it has a pressurized fuel tank, which most plug-in hybrids do. It does, so I'm going to click this little fuel button right here. It's going to pop this open, and this is where you can put in your, I don't know, old dinosaurs. But the thing with a plug-in hybrid is you're going to try and maximize your electric driving range if you're into cars. And to me, it's like at that point, just buy like an EV6 and drive an electric car, if you can at least. Anyway, still pretty good range, over 30 miles of rated range. And plug-in hybrids, we consistently exceed EPA range in the real world. Love this taillight design. Look at this little fin thing, homogeneous LED lights here, really beautiful, no low spots, no high spots, looks good. Again, I love all the badging, the styling, it's all pretty sweet. Let's open up the trunk, nice little button in there. Kia's killing it right now, except not for this. Hold on, I'm pulling the trunk down. Are these incandescent bulbs? Red flag. What's going on over there? Pull the car out of here. And then of course you have LEDs inside, which is nice. So that's always good. 12-volt outlet as well. Nice underfloor storage. This looks like it actually does come out. So let's do it. Hope no one's looking. We're disassembling their car. You have this entire sectioned area that you can pull out, and you can see some components under there. It looks like an onboard charger and your 12-volt systems under there. Interesting, isn't it? So we're just around here at the auto show dismantling vehicles. Man, this is the right size of car. You know, for a lot of people who don't want to take long trips with an electric car or want to dip their toes in the water, or just have something honestly more efficient to drive around every day, this is a really good type of vehicle to get. I love that it's all-wheel drive as well. It's perfect for cold weather climates. I think, you know, this car's closest competitor is really going to be the Tucson, of course, but also things like the Escape and things like the RAV4 Prime. And my personal opinion is based off of styling, the availability of all-wheel drive. The RAV4 Prime does have that, but just in terms of space, this is the one I'm most attracted to out of that sort of class of vehicle. Let me try out the back seat. Whoa, this is huge. Look at this. Big headroom, big leg room, nicely designed seats so you can hang your jacket or coat right in here. You also have another hook here for grocery bags of sorts. I love the USB-C ports in the seats. Kia's been doing this forever. Really love this. Wonderfully sized back seat. And Jordan. Full reclining mode. Holy smokes, this thing is nice. So maybe you give up a little bit of power in the electric system of the plug-in, but by far this is so much nicer than a RAV4 Prime, a Ford Escape plug-in, or even honestly the Hyundai Tucson, which Kia is not the luxury brand here, but they're becoming one. It's pretty amazing. And you get this nice sort of trim here on the doors with this really grained feeling. It's very nice. A little piano black. We'll let that slide. What do you say? Yeah, let it slide. It's a pass. I'm going to take a look at the driver's seat, but one thing I do want to mention is keyless entry exit right here, so you can see your lock function, blind spot monitors in the mirrors, and also black contrasting roof color, which is wonderful, with these awesome roof rails so you can tie stuff down to them. I love that. That's a great feature. And even a little bit of stuff from the Carnival back here, a little of this design. You can actually see it better on the standard hybrid right over here, this sort of knurled finish, which I think is absolutely wonderful. Really like that quite a bit. Let's take a look in the driver's seat. I'll open up the door for you so you can take a peek in. I'm gonna walk around the front here, and in we go. This car is so new it doesn't even have a VIN number. Can you imagine that? 3,700 miles on it. Wow. This is, and the seat goes down pretty far, heated cooled seats, heated steering wheel, engine start stop, same shifter from like the EV6, different drive modes, locking center differential. This is where you can select if you want to be a hybrid or lock it in EV mode, hill descent control, auto hold on the brakes, parking sensors off, and cameras for parking. Talk about feature rich, really feature rich, and you get a tax credit on this. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a full 7,500, but between 5 and 6,500, somewhere around there. Paddle shifters, 6-speed automatic transmission here. The throttle does not have a kickdown button. That worries me. You know why? Why? Because if you're driving in electric mode, it's always nice to know you can go full throttle in EV before it switches to combustion. and I don't feel anything in the throttle pedal that's like gonna be a wall, so I can just go wide open in EV mode, and then if I need to, I can push past something to kick on the combustion engine. I wonder if this is gonna be a hard plug-in to drive in electric only. That might be this car's Achilles heel, is the plug-in system. But we'll have to play around with it. Anyway, interior looks pretty good, I have to say. Should we hit the start button? Is it gonna boot up? It's not gonna boot up. Anyway, this singular piece right here is beautiful. You can tell there's two screens behind it, barely. They did a really good job. All of your climate control will be here with touch-sensitive buttons like we've seen in other Kia products.
Piano black, though.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
this is all piano black. What
Look
in
at
the
those
world?
fingerprints.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. So you leave that open, USB-A, USB-C, wireless charging with cooling.
Ooh.
Or at least some cooling channels. I don't think it's actively cooled, but that will help quite a bit. 12 volt right there, perfect for a radar detector or a dash cam or something like that. So, because you can be ripping up the streets in your Sportage plug-in hybrid. Honestly, everything you can need, 2 memory seat buttons, window controls, mirrors, everything's standard here on the left. The light controls are nice, but even piano black on the stalks, not sure I'm digging that little touch so much. But look, we're nitpicking here a little bit. At the end of the day, this is a car that you can plug in at night, you can drive it around, not even think about it. It'll try and do its best to maximize its electric driving. Even if you can't accelerate that hard in EV only mode, it can kick on the combustion. I think it's gonna be a really good option. Nice center console here. Kia is just absolutely killing it, no question. Look at this, you can even like twist this around to put bigger cups in the cup holders. How neat of an idea is that? What? That is pretty sweet.
Wow.
I'm into this, Jordan. This is a cool car. Ambient lighting, it would be my guess, somewhere around here. Or maybe it's just a accent. I don't know, but it would be cool if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely an interesting one. When you compare it to, again, Escape Hybrid, RAV4 Prime, Tucson, this one has my attention. I think based off of the specs that I'm reading, the driving is going to be probably the worst part, because the point of a plug-in hybrid, for me at least, is to be able to do all of my driving around town during the week fully electric without even turning on the combustion engine. And when I go out of town on the weekends to drive, you know, on the combustion engine, to not have to worry about charging. I don't think this car is going to allow us to do that.
We'll find out.
We'll find out when we test it, but I will say, based off of initial first impressions here, the interior and the exterior design, this has to be one of the best looking redesigns for Kia. The entire model lineup is just getting so good. I'm becoming a huge fan of this company, and I think this is a good launch, the right car at the right time. Can't wait to test it. If you want to see more, subscribe here to Out of Spec Reviews, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.